Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. That's giving all praises, honor, and glory to the Most High God, whose name is Yahweh. By Hashem meaning coming in the name of, and Yahweh Shai, who the world calls Jesus Christ. Y'all know what time it is, right? It's pan con cafe time. Get your coffee. Get that that bread of life. All praises to the Most High. Gusano back with another Monday morning pan con cafe for July 13th. And we're going to talk about anger, right? Controlling anger. And that has to do with putting off the old man and being a new creature in the Most High in his righteousness and being kind, right? So controlling your anger, putting off the old man and being kind. Without further ado, let's get into it. The book of James, chapter 1, verses 19 and 20. Wherefore, my beloved brethren, let every man be swift to hear, slow to speak, slow to wrath. For the wrath of man worketh not the righteousness of God. Right? So you can't be righteous if you're in wrath. Right? The wrath of man worketh not the righteousness of God. Right? So let's understand that. Yeah, of course we get mad. We do get mad. But we have to control that. Right? Wrath belongs to God, man. The book of Proverbs, chapter 14, verse 29. He that is slow to wrath is of great understanding, but he that is hasty of spirit exalteth folly. He that is slow to wrath is of great understanding, right? A great understanding are those who keep the commandments. So let's keep the commandments. Let's have a great understanding. Once we have this great understanding, we'll be slow to wrath, right? Let's not explode on people. Let's control our anger. If we're angry, just let that sit, man. Just let that sit. Calm down. We know what to expect, right? We got to be out here ducking the wiles of the devil. That's why we must put on the full armor, right? So let's just try to control our anger. Proverbs 15 and 1. A soft answer turneth away wrath, but grievous words stir up anger. So, just because people are, being mean to you or saying mean things to you or trying to, pick a fight with you or trying to arouse your anger, right? You don't have to indulge, right? A soft answer is going to turn away wrath. By your words, by your kindness, you can turn the wrath away. Right? You can calm the situation, de-escalate the situation, right? But grievous words stir up anger, right? If you're worrying about getting a lick back, right? Oh, I can't stay hit. I gotta hit him back. So now you're gonna stir up anger, right? Your grievous words are gonna stir up anger. So you're not really trying to de-escalate. You're trying to escalate the situation further. We need to control that, right? Control your anger. What can we do to de-escalate the situation? Ecclesiastes chapter 7 verse 9. Be not hasty in thy spirit to be angry, for anger resteth in the bosom of fools. See that? Anger is going to rest in the bosom of fools. Now, I said, just leave it there. Calm that down. You know what I'm saying? You can release that later on when nobody's around, right? You don't have to hurt anyone to release your anger. You don't have to explode on anyone. You don't have to curse. You don't have to yell to release your anger, right? Just let it go. Simple, right? But anger resteth in the bosom of fools. So be not hasty in your spirit to hurry up and get angry. Calm down. Let's be slow to anger, right? The book of Ephesians chapter 4 verses 22 to 24. That ye put off concerning the former conversation the old man, which is corrupt, according to the deceitful lust, and be renewed in the spirit of your mind. And that ye put on the new man, which after God is created in righteousness and true holiness. This is what we should be focusing on. Putting off the former conversation, right? That old man, right? That wrathful, angry old man. And we should be working on being renewed in the spirit in our mind, knowing how to control our anger, knowing how to be kind, right? Put on the new man created in righteousness. The book of Colossians chapter 3 verse 8, but now ye also put off all these. So put these off, right? Anger, wrath, malice, blasphemy, filthy communication out of your mouth. And that ties back to Proverbs 15:1. A soft answer turneth away wrath, but grievous words stir up anger. That's filthy communication out your mouth, man. You're bringing wickedness upon you and to whatever situation is going on by just negatively responding, right? But it says, put these off. But now ye also put off all these. And the first two mentioned are anger and wrath. The first two mentioned. Not to mention that the last one is communication out of the mouth, right? A lot of anger, a lot of wrath gets stirred up through words. And we have to watch our wording. The book of Ephesians chapter 4 verse 31 and 32. Let all bitterness and wrath and anger and clamor and evil speaking be put away from you with all malice. Right? Again, reiterating Colossians 3 and 8. Put all these away. Right? It says, let all bitterness and wrath and anger. Right? Those are the first three mentioned. Bitterness, because you get bitter, and then you get angry and then wrathful. Right? Then it says, and be ye kind one to another. This is verse 32. Tender-hearted, forgiving one another, even as God for Christ's sake has forgiven you. And this is a problem because we are accustomed to being bitter, accustomed to not controlling our anger, accustomed to blowing up, to showing wrath, right? But we're not accustomed to be kind to another, tender-hearted. So forgiving one another, sometimes that may seem like it's out of the question, right? Forgiving one another. This is something we all have to work on, especially in the midst of those moments where anger and wrath may be kindling up, where bitterness is resting, right? In those conversations, right, we must think, soft answer or grievous words, right? What would Christ do? Now, the book of Colossians chapter 3 verse 12 and 13. Put on therefore as the elect of God, right? We all want to be the elect of God, right? Holy and beloved bowels of mercies. That ties back to that forgiving. Kindness, humbleness of mind. That's another thing. A lot of us are prideful and we just won't let somebody say grievous words to us. We won't just let somebody get us angry. We won't just let somebody... Our bitterness is going to get the best of us each time because we're prideful. We're not humble enough in our mind to say, you know what? Who am I to be angry, right? Look at everything Yahweh Shai went through. But I'm gonna sit here and have a quarrel with my brother, right? It's truly amazing. Verse 13, Colossians 3 and 13. Forbearing one another and forgiving one another. If any man have a quarrel against any, even as Christ forgave you, so also do ye, right? Let Christ be your example every day. When you wake up in the morning, let Christ be your example. The book of Proverbs chapter 19 verse 11. The discretion of a man deferreth his anger, and it is his glory to pass over a transgression. See that? Discretion. This brother's wisdom is allowing him to maneuver around anger. And it's his glory to pass over a transgression. It's okay. You can say what you want about me. That's fine. It's his glory to use humility, to use kindness, to use a soft word, right? And that's a beautiful thing, right? I can only hope and pray for that, right? Because, you know, it's, of course, some things are easier said than done, right? But we all have to work on it. We all have to work on it. I'm going to close out with the book of Galatians, chapter 5, verses 22 and 23. But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, temperance. Against such there is no law. Right? So let's just keep that temperance, man. Let's keep temperance. Let's keep that anger and control. Let's not be the person we were yesterday, right? Yesterday we would have punched him in his mouth. Today, all right, I'm sorry I offended you, right? Let's be kind. Hopefully this spreads as fast as the negativity spread yesterday for the old man, right? So that was Monday morning Pan con Cafe for July 13th. Control your anger, family. Let's work on it. With that, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. That's giving all praises, honor, and glory to the Most High God, whose name is Yahweh, by Hashem meaning coming in the name of, and Yahweh Shai, who the world calls Jesus Christ. Shalom, and I love y'all, family.